Are you ready to transform your summer into an epic splash-tastic adventure? Say goodbye to wasteful, single-use water balloons and hello to the ultimate in reusable, eco-friendly fun with reusable water balloons. Check out the link in the video description to get yours on Amazon today.
Lefty Sussex University is where Kemi Badenoch got a taste for the politics that would inspire her to become a Tory MP, a cabinet minister and now a contender for the leadership of the Conservative Party. She was radicalized by the ideologically driven militants of the Marxist-Leninists who dominated campus culture, but in completely the opposite direction. She reacted against what she later described as the spoiled, entitled, privileged metropolitan elite in training she first came across there. That early contempt for those ignorant armchair activists who spouted left-wing nonsense while having no knowledge of the real world would remain with her and influence her politics. She was at Sussex from 1999 to 2003 taking a computer science degree and was too wrapped up in her studies to actually get involved in the maelstrom of student politics. But what happened on campus made a huge impact on her, as her then boyfriend, fellow student Kemi Badenoch, of Nigerian descent like her, recalled. For political reasons, left-wing students were pressing for a ban on Coca-Cola and on the Daily Mail. She thought they were middle class and spoiled and didn't understand the real world. In particular, they didn't understand Africa, where she had grown up, yet they were also campaigning to boycott products made by the food and beverage company Nestle, on the grounds that it allegedly gave mothers in Africa free baby formula in the hope that, when they stopped breastfeeding, they would choose to buy its baby milk formula instead. Kemi was furious. She found it so patronizing, says Badenoch. Judging by the way they behaved, those kids at Sussex thought they were more African than the Africans. She was a pragmatist. Having parents who were doctors, Kemi said in an interview, I knew that when women are malnourished, formula milk might be a better alternative, and mothers with AIDS, which reached epidemic proportions in parts of the continent, can't breastfeed at all. These stupid lefty white kids didn't know what they were talking about. I was disturbed by attitudes that didn't allow Africans and black people agency. It's something that has stayed with me. I'm very suspicious of people who claim to be wanting to help black people and Africans, but really are just virtue signaling. Kemi was born in 1980 in a private maternity hospital in Wimbledon, southwest London, after her Nigerian parents, father Kemi Badenoch and mother Faye, were given what she describes as an obstetric referral to a Harley Street doctor after difficulties conceiving. In December 1979 they returned to the UK for their baby to be born in what they considered to be the best medical environment money could buy. Their decision to go to Britain for the birth was not unusual among reasonably well-off families in Nigeria, but would prove highly significant. For even though the couple and their newborn went straight back home to Lagos, where Kemi would be brought up, she had acquired a legal right to UK citizenship by virtue of having been born on British soil. Ultimately, this cleared the path for her return to London as a teenager in the 1990s, to make a life for herself in this country. Her English-speaking parents belonged to the Yoruba people, a West African ethnic group that makes up about a fifth of the population of Nigeria. Her father was a doctor with a thriving private clinic, her mother a professor of medical physiology. They were middle class and comfortably off, but Nigeria was a volatile place, ricocheting from one coup to the next, resulting in 3 decades of military juntas in power. Economic and political flux and corruption in government and the civil service were endemic. The threat of violence hummed menacingly in the background. In her maiden speech in the House of Commons in 2017, Kemi spoke of living without electricity and doing my homework by candlelight because the state electricity board could not provide power, and fetching water in heavy, rusty buckets from a borehole a mile away because the nationalized water company could not get water out of the taps. By 1995, Nigeria was considered a pariah state and was suspended from the Commonwealth for human rights abuses. Kemi's parents, once prosperous but now living in reduced circumstances, began making plans to remove their eldest daughter from the turmoil to live abroad. Anyone who had the chance to get out of Nigeria left.